We wanted to know a little bit more about Adrian Wyllie, and we're sure you do too. So he's with us this morning to talk about some of the key issues in this upcoming election. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Russell. Thanks for having me.
These Quinnipiac numbers just out. Keep Scott and Chris dead even, gives you 7%. What do you think of that?
Well, I think their methodology is a little bit flawed. They're focusing on the super voters, the people who have voted in consistently in the last 4 elections. We're actually seeing internal poll numbers much higher than that because we believe there's going to be a major turnout from new voters, from younger voters. We're doing extremely well with independent voters and specifically with 18 to 34-year-old voters. So we think that really, in reality, our poll numbers are closer to 15 to 18% range.
Let me throw out some issues with you because we haven't had you here, and I'm honored that you're here. And I know a lot of folks want to get to know you, so let's just throw out some issues and see
Sure.
where you go. Okay, same-sex marriage.
I support it. I don't believe government has the authority to tell people who they may or may not love, cherish, and obey. We should get government out of the business of marriage licensing. It frustrates me that when I married my beautiful wife 23 years ago, Dawn, that I had to go to the government and ask permission. I think that's just wrong, and I'd like to fix that.
I mean, from what I saw from your website, you're saying get rid of marriage licenses for everybody.
Correct. We have to take a look at what does government actually have the authority to do and question why does government do so many of the things that we just blindly accept. And granting permission for marriage is one of them. That should be between the individuals involved and, depending on their faith, the church as well.
You're a libertarian, and I know you've got some strong feelings about taxes. Let's talk specifically about property tax. Where do you go there?
Well, my plan is to provide all Floridians with a 100% homestead tax exemption, meaning nobody pays property tax on their primary residence. Now, that works in conjunction with my 30% state spending cuts. That way we can ensure that the counties, the local police, fire, roads, schools are still fully funded, but each Floridian family has an average of $200 more in their pocket every month. That's how to stimulate the economy.
From what I've read, you say we continue to fund local governments based on sales tax.
Right. What we do is once we cut the state budget, the state no longer needs the entire 6 cents out of every dollar that is currently collected in sales tax. We can actually reallocate approximately 2 cents out of every dollar to the counties. So for the counties, it's revenue neutral. Everything is fully funded, and we've cut the budget by just cutting out the waste, the fraud, the abuse, the cronyism, and the corporate welfare.
How are you going to fund state government if you do this?
Oh, well, there's plenty of money in the state budget. You have to understand that the state budget has increased so dramatically over the past several years. Under Rick Scott, it's increased by $11 billion. Under Charlie Crist, it increased by roughly $6 billion. So right there is $17 billion in recent spending, most of it going to buddies of Rick Scott and buddies of Charlie Crist, people who supported him financially. So once we undo a lot of that cronyism, we realize that the people of Florida don't need to be sending as much money to Tallahassee.
Common Core.
Opposed to it. I think it's a federalization of our public schools. I want to ensure that more control and more funding gets back to the local levels. You know, in the state of Florida, we spend an average of $12,000 per student per year on education, and if that money were actually reaching the classroom, we could pay teachers a great wage. They wouldn't have to go to Walmart for supplies, and we could still have the arts and music and sports. But you know, the problem is we've pushed up all the funding of schools and the control of schools to the state and federal level. We need to get back to the local level where the parents and teachers actually have a say.
All said and done, that Wednesday morning when the election is done and all the votes are counted, what are you expecting you'll have?
Well, I'm hoping to be putting together my transition team and moving to Tallahassee. You know, considering that we only have about 30% name recognition at this point across the state of Florida, and we're polling in the neighborhood of 15% when you do an accurate poll, taking in all the factors. You know, if we can get to 60-70% name recognition in the state of Florida, we win.
Mr. Wyllie, Adrian Wyllie, thank you for your time this morning. Good luck. Maybe we'll see you the morning after. You take care, okay?
Thanks for having me.
Bye.